Good day. My name is Peter Jordan. Today, I want to talk to you about parental rights and responsibilities and children's rights and responsibility. This is an area that is not well conceived. It's not well understood. If it was, many parents would think about things for their family before they start with a family. Are they ready? Are they equipped? Are they equipped emotionally? Are they equipped mentally? Are they equipped spiritually to have a child? To have a child is an easy thing. It's just a physical event that we can go through. But there's so much more involved in bringing up children, and the responsibility that parents have to bring up children from the age of, or when they are born, going all the way to the age 21. Because at the age 21, this is where each year that goes by, the soul enters the body more and more each year. And so by the time you reach the age 21, the soul fully enters the body then for the first time. And we in the Western world, we celebrate the 21st birthday as a key to the door. Well, it's not really a key to the door, is what it is, a key to self, a key to who you are. And so it's our job as parents to take our children from that totally dependent stage to the stage where it is they are 100% independent of them. And so this video is just some thoughts on what is necessary, and it's by no means comprehensive. It is just what is necessary for us to contemplate before we decide to bring children into the world. So I'd like to kick off then. The International Convention on the Rights of the Child and the duties of the parents give all children the right to a family. The right to a family allows children to be connected to their history. It offers a protective perimeter against violation of their rights. Children separated from their families become easy victims of violence, exploitation, trafficking, and we've seen a lot of that, discrimination, and all other types of abuse. In this series, we're talking about a lot about sexual abuse. So it is also for us to protect the children at all times so that they are not exposed to this scourge. We go on. Even so, it is sometimes the case that the family should, in principle, be protecting the child, is in fact inflicting the abuse. A definition of a family. A family is a community of people united by kinship ties, found in all societies. It is equipped with a name and a home that creates between its members an obligation for moral and material solidarity, particularly between parents and children. The rights and responsibilities of parents. Parents are the first to have the power to act on behalf of the child and to ensure their rights are respected. This is enshrined in every legal profession around the world, in every country. The father and mother use their rights and carry out their duties by making decisions in place of the child. Their objectives are to protect the child and to secure the child and education, development, security, health, and morality. So let's break this down. Establishing the residence of the child. The child has an obligation to live with his or her parents, since they have a duty to safeguard them from harm. They establish the residence of their child. The law also sets forth that the child may not, without permission of the father and mother, leave the family home, and she or he may not be removed from the home except in cases determined by the law to be necessary. This rule applies to children as well as to third parties. The child may not reside with someone else without permission from the parents. Supervision of the child. Protecting the health, security, and morality of a minor implies a duty of supervision. Parents watch over their child by controlling his or her coming and goings, controls their relationships with members of the family, but also with friends and acquaintances, any kind of correspondence, and more generally, all of his or her communications, whether they are via electronic or paper, as in terms of letter, or phone calls. Thus, they may forbid the child from maintaining relationships with certain persons that they believe are not in his or her best interest. Schooling and education of the child. Parents play a keen role in their child's education. The mission is not limited to registration in a school establishment. It also includes moral, civic, religious, and sex education. The goal being to give the child all of the knowledge and training necessary for living in a society and acquiring sufficient autonomy for the day he or she becomes an adult, or becomes fully becomes a adult. Okay, now in many countries we have a term that they call majority. The majority, where it is a lot of children can decide for themselves, in many countries it's the age 16. In other countries it's the age 21. Some countries allow some children at age 16 to do various things. Other countries only allow children at the age 21 to do various things. And we need to respect the customs in each country. Schooling and education of the child. Parents play a key role in their child's education. This mission is not limited to registration. Oh, sorry, I've read that already. Responsibility. Children should be taught age-related responsibility and be made to take up those age-related responsibilities and be accountable. Children should be treated with love and respect. Children should be treated respectfully in all ways and be given respect and love. Children should be taught what is love. Many don't know. Loving and respectful children become loving and respectful parents one day, and in the process develop a loving and respectful society. Decision-making in health matters for the child. Parents decide on care to give the child, treatments he or she will undergo, authorizations for hospital admission, consent for operations, Except in emergencies, no medical action may be carried out on a minor without the consent of the parents. Maintenance of the child. Parents must nourish their child and maintain them in proportion to their resources and the needs of the child. This applies to cases in which the father and mother live together or apart. It clearly covers the need to feed the child. Parents must also assume general school and instruction costs, vacations, health coverage, etc. Discipline and protection of the child from physical violence. Children should be disciplined in a loving, supportive way that is in the best interests of the child over the short and the long term. Children should never be subjected to physical violence. Sexual violence. Children should be protected from any form of sexual violence. The child should be taught age-related sexual information and should also be taught not to allow strangers to touch or interact with them inappropriately. Sexual violence should also be reported immediately when the parents find out. Withholding care. Through negligence, some parents do not meet the recommendations in matters of health care. Their children do not get the child care and they withhold food from them. They do not monitor their physical growth, and sometimes they expose them to drugs and offer inadequate protection from environmental dangers. The next one is a big one. Parents should teach children feelings intelligence. And I say feelings intelligence because there in the world we talk about emotional intelligence. And that's there's a big problem with that because people don't understand the difference between emotions and feelings. Emotions are things like anger, frustration, irritation. All of those are emotional outbursts, all triggered by a feeling. So parents should teach children about their feelings. Many children grow up without any knowledge about their feelings and how to express them. Most do not know the difference between feelings and emotions. Many do not know about containing and managing anger, about their reactions and why they have reactions, and how can they overcome their reactions, and what makes them do things they do due to not understanding their feelings. They don't understand that many of the feelings, when they're in a situation of fear or some kind of stressful situation, that it is the feelings that take control of them. And when the feelings take control of them, it is that they do many things. And sometimes they do things that they should not be doing, and that the child innately knows inside that they should not be doing, but they go and do it anyway. Next, teach the child about spirituality or expose them to appropriate, balanced religious faiths. Whichever one that you choose is necessary for the child, but it is necessary that they get the necessary exposure. Many children do not understand or even know about spirituality, how it works, Why is it important to know, and how it helps them to develop and become a balanced human being. In the process, it helps them to deliver an honorable inner moral compass. We all have got that embedded in on the inside of us. We have to be taught how to access that. Teach the child balance. In order for you as a parent to teach the child balance, you yourself need to be balanced. Balanced children become balanced human beings and become balanced family members. Balanced family members become a balanced, caring society. Balance emanates from a healthy balance between mind, feelings, and spirituality. Now we move on to the next major topic, understanding the rights and responsibilities of children. Children have the right to life. The right to life means that each child must be able to live his or her own life and not live a life for the parents or for anybody else, is to live their own life and to respect their individuality. Children have the right not to be killed. They have the right to survive and to grow up in proper, healthy conditions. Children have the right to education. The right to education allows each child to receive instruction, to enjoy a social life, and to build his or her own future through this education. This right is essential for economic, social, and cultural development. Each child has the right to food. The right to food is the right of each child to eat. It is the right to not die of hunger and to not suffer from malnutrition. Every 5 seconds, a child dies of hunger somewhere in the world. It's our duty as parents to prevent this from happening to our children. The right to health. The right to health means that children must be protected against illnesses. They must live in a clean, supportive environment. They must be allowed to grow and become healthy adults. This contributes to not only developing themselves or allowing themselves to develop properly, but it also helps in the developing of an active society. Children have the right to water. The right to water means children have the right to safe drinking water and proper sanitary conditions. The right to water is essential for good health, survival, and proper growth. The right to identity. Each child has the right to have a surname, a first name, a nationality, and to know his or her relatives are, is to know who his or her relatives are. The right to identity also means that each child's existence and the rights must be officially recognized. Children have the right to freedom. The right to liberty is the child's right to express him or herself, to have opinions, to have access to information and to participate in decisions which affect his or her life. Children also have the right to religious freedom. Children have the right to protection. The right to protection is the right to live in a secure and protective environment, which preserves the child's well-being. Each child has the right to be protected from all forms of mistreatment, discrimination, and exploitation. Children, too, have a responsibility, and it's our job as parents to teach them to take up age-related responsibility all the way from the time that they are born until the age 21, where it is us as parents let go and let them be. Children have the responsibility to the following: take up what has been taught to them by means of education, developing feelings and spiritual intelligence. Make an age-related contribution to the matters and running of the home. Take up age-related responsibility for themselves with a view to becoming totally independent of the parents. And in the process, they become a functioning person by either the age 21 or by the majority age. Children should conduct themselves respectfully, firstly, towards themselves as part of the self-love. It is our duty as parents to teach them self-love first. And when they can do that, then they will be in a position to be able to do that to one another and give that to their elders. Learn about love oneself, its responsibilities and joys, and to love one another. To learn about sex and its responsibilities. It's a big one, that one. Learn about and accept and exercise self-discipline and general discipline. Learn about yourself. Learn about why and how you work. How is it? What is the reason that you're here on the planet? Grow yourself in every aspect of yourself. Discover who you are and your potential and your talents, and take those talents and use it to the best of your ability. To look after yourself and to protect yourself. It is also your responsibility to look after your part of the environment around you. When we all become and we all take on the understanding of our environment and how precious our environment is, we can, as an individual, add our little bit to the protection of our environment. And if everybody on the planet takes that same responsibility, collectively, we can solve many of the environmental problems we have at the moment. With that, I would like to close and to thank you for listening to this thing. I feel that this is very important and that many people don't understand the importance of the parents' responsibilities and the child's responsibilities, of the parents' rights and the rights of the children. And this is particularly so in this channel because of the sexual abuse. I wish to thank you for your time. Thank you very much. Good day.